Welcome to the John Cady podcast. I'm John Cady, retired U.S. Navy veteran, former minister, and man who's seen and done a lot in life. I touched on this in a short earlier this year, and I'd like to touch on it a little bit more. This is a personal experience that I had from when I was in the military. As somebody who served in the Navy and had been to different countries, altogether I had visited 14 different countries during the 20 years I was in the military. And what I want to touch on are some lessons learned and things that I enjoyed and some things I didn't enjoy about dining in other countries. I will start with the best place I ate. Now, I don't remember the names of the restaurants because it's been a long time ago, but this was when I was stationed aboard the USS Theodore Roosevelt. We made a port visit in Rhodes, Greece. After 90 days of being deployed and circling off in the Adriatic off the coast of Bosnia when that war was going on, we were more than thrilled of finding a foreign port to visit. So we arrived in Rhodes, went with a few fellow sailors, and we stopped at this one nice restaurant there. And going through the menu, I decided to try something different on the seafood menu. They had a nice picture of marinated octopus. And I'm going to tell you right now, that marinated octopus was absolutely delicious. It was marinated in a wine sauce, and whoever cooked it, I give mad props to the chef for that, because that octopus was tender. It practically cut easily with a fork. I didn't have any resistance at all. And then when I ate the octopus, it was tender. It was juicy. It didn't feel chewy or rubbery, which is a common complaint of people when they've had, octopus. And also another place where I tried this for the first time, and it's more commonly sold in America than the octopus, and that's calamari. Now, for the uninitiated, calamari is squid. And I have had fried calamari for the first time when I was in Greece as well. The calamari also tasted good. Even fried, it was nice and juicy and crunchy, and it tasted delicious. So when it comes to certain seafood beyond fish, octopus and squid are right up there with most of the fish that's available. Now, another interesting entree, and I tried this in France, which is where it originated, is an entree that is also the target of a lot of bad jokes. I am talking about escargot. Escargot is snails cooked in butter and garlic, maybe a little bit of onion. As Timon and Pumbaa would say in The Lion King, slimy but maybe satisfying. I've tried it. To me, I tasted the butter and the garlic more than I did the actual escargot. Something about snails. I can see why people like to make jokes about it. They're small. They're cooked inside the shell, and they're okay. But to me, it was a flavor that was not worth writing home about. Now, another entree that I tried that is not common here in the United States, and for this one, I am very grateful that they don't normally serve it here. And that is the infamous beefsteak tartare. I tried it one time when I was in Civitavecchia, Italy. It was served as an hors d'oeuvre, and in my taste testing of this sliced raw beef, I tasted it and I'm like, ugh, yuck. if you guys are trying to turn me into a vegetarian for the rest of the deployment, that sure is a good way to do it, because beefsteak tartare to me just tasted gross. I am a firm believer that beef was meant to be cooked. And when I say cooked, I'm talking about cooking the beef all the way through. Well done. I don't want to see one slight hint of pink in my beef. I like that way. I know it's done. I know it's cooked right, and yet still juicy enough for me to enjoy. And I have never had beefsteak tartare since, and I don't care if I never eat beefsteak tartare again. That stuff is just plain gross. I won't eat it again. Now, there is a lesson that people try to impart to us. Whether you are in the military going overseas, whether you are a tourist about to visit another country, one of the rules that they try to caution all of us about is don't drink the local water. Just don't drink the local water. In 1987, I got to visit my first overseas port, and it was in Caracas, Venezuela. Now, Caracas, Venezuela in 1987 was actually a very beautiful city to visit. Venezuela at that time was the most prosperous country in South America. Before the communists came along and destroyed it. That's a subject for another day. But again, I went with some other sailors. We go to this nice restaurant. We befriended a local physician who showed us around town and took us to the restaurant. I made the sad mistake of ordering a glass of ice water to wash down my dinner, just like I think I could do it, just like I could here at home. I go to a restaurant here, order a glass of ice water to go with my meal. No problem. Cold, refreshing, delicious. I order a cold glass of ice water in Caracas, only to find out that the filtration system in other countries is not up to the same standard as it is here in America. It wasn't too long after I ate my lunch, or my dinner, washed it down with that ice water, and I came down with a mild case of dysentery. Ooh. One of my friends asked me, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "I'm in the head." Now, for those who don't know, head is the Navy term for a bathroom or restroom. So I was in the head, sitting on the toilet, and I had a real bad case of dysentery, which also goes by the wonderful name of Montezuma's Revenge. And yes, Montezuma was definitely having his revenge on me that afternoon. And I did learn a painful lesson from that, and I never drank the local water in any foreign country ever again. I always ordered bottled water. I never ordered tap water again. It just wasn't worth it. I realized that getting sick it wasn't worth getting sick over. So there you have it, everybody. Those are some of my dining experiences when overseas. I hope you enjoyed hearing the stories as much as I enjoyed sharing with them. Again, this is John Cady. Thank you for listening. Hit that like or subscribe button, and I'll catch you again on the next one. Take care, everybody.